George Kilpatrick, inspiration for the nation, celebrating people we feel good about. We've got Brother Keith Muhummad in the house. He is the co-founder of Focusing Our Resources for Community Enlightenment, or FORCE, CNY, founded along with Brother Minister Mark Muhammad. And we're so glad that you could join us on the program today. They've got a big talent show coming up. It's a chance for you to be seen.
That's right.
And that will be happening in July, but this Saturday, the 14th of May, at the Brighton Community Center, right, Cannon Street Community Center, well, 162 Brighton Avenue. You tell me, I call it the Brighton Community, Cannon Street Community Center.
It's Cannon Street Community Center.
Yeah.
But
On
it's
Brighton Avenue.
Cannon
Yes,
and West Brighton.
Right there.
Brighton,
you drive down Brighton and you look right, and there it is. Okay.
There it is. Yeah, you'll see the sign. It'll say Cannon Street Community Center on one side, and it'll say Focusing Our Resources for Community Enlightenment FORCE on the other side. And so the audition and show itself will be in that field next to the center.
12 to 4 on Saturday. On
Saturday.
So let's talk about what FORCE is and why this talent show right now, Keith.
Oh, okay. And what I like to do is talk about FORCE and some of the programming, support that we've done in the past, that we're planning to do in the future. And in doing that, that would lead us right up to a chance to be seen.
Talk to me, Keith.
Answer any questions about chance to be seen.
Sure.
So FORCE stands for Focusing Our Resources for Community Enlightenment. Mm-hmm. Like you said, my brother and I founded the organization actually back in 1996. And we were sitting around the table, and we said, we got to do some things in our community. You know, there's a lot of things going on, but we rely on other people like the city to do those things for us. And as you know, or may not know, I'm sure people told you, a lot of things going on in the 60s and 70s, but as we get to 80s and 90s, they started cutting programs.
Yeah.
And so we said, let's start a group of our own with community people, because we really have all the resources that we need to do what we want to do in the community.
Yes, sir.
And it's just that we don't share those things with each other. But a venue like Inspiration for the Nation, you bring on local people, and the people share what they're doing, and people watching, the audience goes, wow, you know, that's what I like to do. I'm gonna get with that person.
Right.
You know? Or it might be someone national, and they may go, man, I think I can do that based on what that person said. So you inspire people to do what they don't even know they can do.
That's right.
Inspiration for the Nation.
That's
That's how FORCE is. We said, Minister Mark and I, we got everything we need in our community. People just have to be inspired to action by demonstrating what can be done.
Amen. Yes.
So we decided we're going to do some programming. One of the first things we did was called a community cash carnival. And it was based on participating in a carnival that I saw on the West Side back in, now I'm gonna date myself, back in like 1966 in Stevie Park. So we lived in the James Geddes housing on the West Side, and no James came in, provided all the food, provided the acts, everything. And the children just came out and we just had fun. And I said to myself then, one day I'm gonna have a carnival. I'm just gonna have a carnival. So let's fast forward to 1999. In 96, we started FORCE. At that time, it wasn't a nonprofit, it's just a loose thing, and we're working. And we said, we're gonna put on a carnival. We're gonna put a carnival on in Kirk Park. We're gonna identify some organizations that will help us. First place we went to was Jesse Dowdell Southwest Community Center, because we needed a sponsor. We weren't a 501 at the time. He said, I'll do it. And so then we went to not the Gifford Foundation, but the community, here's my mind again working.
Community Foundation?
Community Foundation, and asked for their help. Now in 1992, 93, I got into Maxwell. And so I had to do my internship with the Community Foundation.
How about that?
And I worked with the leadership program. So they knew me, Peg Doggett knew me. And she said, we'll do it, we'll help you. And that's what happened. They provided, you know, the funds. We got people in the community to be the volunteers for each of the areas that we had, and we put on the community carnival. But let me say this, it was more than just providing entertainment for the community. When we did it, we wrote down everything that we needed to do in order to put it on, so that if anybody wanted to do something like that, they would have it. It was right there written. As a matter of fact, my son, he wants to do one. I said, I have it written down. Here you go. I'll help you do it. And so we wrote up the volunteer coordinator description for young people or anyone who says, I want to help. I want to be the person that identifies acts. I want to be the person that sets up the venue. And so if they didn't have any work experience, they would do this. And now you can put it on your resume. You've done this. You have experience doing it. And sometimes you just got to inspire and push people. Sometimes they're afraid. They're like, I don't know how to do this. We'll show you how to do it. We'll show you how to do it. And so that's what we did. And it was great. We did it for 3 years, 99, I think 2001, and then was one other year at Kirk Park. And we had the fire department come in. We had Focus, the firefighters color, come in.
Well, you were a firefighter.
I was a firefighter at the time.
Yeah.
And so we had ambulance. We had Onondaga County Emergency fly the helicopter in. So the children really enjoyed it. The food was free, entertainment free, everything. And so now, let me fast forward now to what we're doing now, and then I'll get the chance to be seen. And so since that time, my wife is the executive director of FORCE. Okay. I'm a vice president, Minister Marks president. And so she's been putting together a number of programs. For example, we teach CPR first aid. So if you want to get certified in that, you just call us up and we'll take you through it. So we have a number of nurses that come through and we provide them with that, but we provide them at a lower cost than anyone else in the county because our people don't have a whole lot of money. And so we want to make sure that they're served and they get the certification, and giving them that certification, it just helps us. So we do that. We do a safe sitter where we teach young people how to be babysitters at home for their younger siblings. Yeah. And they can turn it into a business if they want. Yeah, because so oftentimes
mom says, watch the kids.
Watch the kids.
Right.
I know what I'm doing. Matter of fact, nah, he's bad. He don't listen to me. Just do it. And then you got to figure out.
Right.
Yeah. And so I had to do that with my brother, Mark. It's like nobody told me, what do you do if there's a fire? Nobody talked about that. What do you do if he gets hurt? Nobody talked, nobody said, well, just call the operator. Back then, you just dial 0.
Right.
Nobody did that. They just, here's your key. We're latchkey kids. You come home from school and let yourself in. That was it. Yeah, so it's scary sometimes for children, and we want to make sure that they're safe and their siblings are safe. So, so we do that. And then the other thing we do, community preparedness. When you look around the nation and you see those tornadoes and you see those fires, they're coming to visit us.
Yeah,
they're coming to visit us. So we want to prepare people for that and talk to them about saving their food. Talk to them about how you prevent fires in the home and what do you do if there's a fire. Talk to them about CPR, first aid, or hands-only CPR. That do that is better than nothing at all. So we do that.
So and these so people just reach out, they call you and you come and you go to groups and organizations, or do people come to the center and do the training? How do they do that?
Before we went to groups and organizations, but as you know, COVID changed stuff. Yes. So we do Zoom or a hybrid kind of thing. Sure. There's some of the curriculum, you can do most of it online, and then sometimes you have to go visit. But right now, for CPR, first aid, you just call. We'll do it. We'll figure it out.
All right. So that's the background of focusing. Wait, say it again. FORCE.
Focusing our resources for community enlightenment.
Community enlightenment. Yeah. I love it. What I love is the fact that you said this, and I believe this because, all right, let me quick aside before we get to a chance to be seen. When you hear there's nothing for the kids to do in the community, Keith, what do you think when you hear that?
When I hear that is, no, there's some things going on in the community. That's number one. But number two is, it's not like it used to be. But if we get together as adults, we can make some things happen. You just got to have the desire to do it, and we'll sit down and we'll work it out. It's not on the kids to have something to do for themselves. It's on us to make sure. And it's not on the government to make sure that it happens, although they should be able to help us by giving, because they got resources.
Right.
And those resources we see in other neighborhoods. So it's like, no. We'll go to the table and say, you can help us with this, but if they don't, we'll find a way. We're from a people that found a way.
Come on. All right,
made a way out of nothing. Yeah.
Right, so speaking of things to do for the kids, how about a chance to be seen?
Chance to be seen. And I'll get into that. And that's based on something to do for the kids. I'm gonna take you back 1 second, 15 seconds, and I'm gonna bring you to it. Okay. 1968, the city had a program called Happening Wagon. So they paint the wagon psychedelic, and they would go to each side of the city, and they would have performances by local talent, local bands on each side of the city. And so we would go, at that time, we lived on Midland Ave, so I'll go to McKinley Park. They had a McKinley Park, or I would go to my grandmother's who lived in Pioneer Home. And so they would do it at Wilson Park. So those two parks I would go to, and it's good. Anyone that's over 60, you mentioned a Happening Wagon, we had a good time. But then the city cut it off. And so my brother and I said, we're talking about it one day and said, we had fun. So, well, let's do it for our children. Let's do it for children that have never seen anything like this. And that's how A Chance to Be Seen was born. So in 2001, we did the first, I think it was the first one at Danforth School, Back to School Showcase. And since that time, we did 2 other ones, one at Henninger, and the last one, 2012, at OCC, Back to School. But we also did theme shows, like, for example, a 70s showcase, where people came in and did a lot of 70s songs, besides, poetry and whatever, because I'm old school. I like 70s, 60s.
Right.
And then we did a tribute to James Brown after that, and it was called Say It Loud, dealt with the Black experience. So we had African drummers, people singing soul, that kind of thing. And then in 2009, we did a tribute to Michael Jackson, because I think Michael Jackson passed away in 2009. And that was a great show. People came from all over.
Is it every year you take some time off and then you present different years? Yeah,
we present different years. So the last time was 2012.
Yeah.
Now, 2022.
Here we go, 10 years.
Yep, here we go. So I said to myself, it's time to do another show. Three reasons. First one, usually Minister Mark presents A Chance to Be Seen, even though we co-founded it, he came up with the title, the idea. And I always developed it as a forum for him to talk with the community about what he's thinking, shares views, and what he believes needs to be done, because he's a leader.
Right.
He's the representative of the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So like you said one day, he always has something to say. Yeah, this is a venue. I want them to hear what he has to say. The other thing is he left OCC because COVID, they wanted him to take the vaccination. He said no. And so he had an idea while he was at OCC that he was going to do this leadership, our leadership, I don't know if it's forum, I forget the last name, but with each of those letters in our and leadership, there's different people in the community that are leaders in those areas. So if you talk about communication, let's have George Kilpatrick come talk about what he wants to talk about, that kind of thing. So he's pulling that together, and this was a venue for him to talk a few minutes about that. Number 2, FORCE. Because of COVID, we just recently moved in the Cannon Street Community Center.
Right.
But the people will pass by and go, you getting ready to do something there? Nobody's done anything there in about 5-6 years. Yeah, we are. When are you going to open? Well, we'll see. We're open, but it's by appointment, and COVID changes things, so it's not virtual. So this was A Chance to Be Seen is for the community, surrounding community, to see FORCE. It's a chance for us to be seen by the community. So that was number 2.
All right, and let's get to what's happening. 12 to 4.
Number 3. That's it. What's happening is A Chance to Be Seen to provide entertainment for the community. So this is a venue for people to show their talent. And it doesn't matter what talent you have. Could be singing.
So let me, but for the person listening, let's give them the details. 12 to 4 Saturday, you show up with a talent and audition.
Yeah, talent right. 12 to 4 p.m. on Saturday. Show up. You can also go on our line, our website, forcecny.org, and you can sign up that way. There's a number there. You can call me and say, hey, I'm coming. A few people did that. Or you can just show up. Okay. Just show up there. Show up with your CD, old school, or MP3. Okay. If you're going to sing, and sing along with that. Right. So 12 to 4, there's an audition. So we'll have judges who will watch and listen to your act. And out of whoever shows up, we're going to pick about 15 acts. So if you got 20 people with you, you're one act. And the acts could it be dance? It could be a group. It could be spoken word. It could be spoken word poetry. It could be if a band shows up. As a band, you can play.
Or a poem or a poem, right?
A poem. Yeah. Or you could be a comedian. You want to tell some joke. You got to be a professional comedian. You just come and tell your jokes. And do the best you can. But this is the thing, whatever you do, just do the best you can. Number one rule at our show, you don't boo nobody. Nobody gets the hook. Nobody gets the hook. You got 3 to 5 minutes, just unless your profanity. This is a family show.
No profanity. Okay.
No profanity. And watch what you dress. Come with clothes on, not without clothes.
You don't want to see no drawers. I got you. All right. So listen.
Right.
ForceCNY.org. The auditions are from 12 to 4 at the Cannon Street Community Center.
That's correct.
What's the address?
The address is Cannon Street Community Center is 515 Cannon Street, but the field is 162, 170. It's right next door. So 515 Cannon Street on the corner.
All right. And people come up, and then if you're lucky, you'll be one of the 15 acts that will perform when?
To perform July 9th.
Okay.
Same spot on July 9th. And in between that, if you're picked, we will call and send you a letter letting you know that you'll be picked and giving you all the details. But it will be July 9th, 2022. That one from 1 to 4 on July 9th, not 12 to 4. And there'll be a live audience, but it will be composed of those who make the audition, because we got to limit it. But yeah, we got to limit it because of COVID. This is probably, I think they say, one of the highest rates of COVID in the country.
Yes.
That's scary. So we want to keep everybody safe. So there'll be about 75 to 100 people in attendance who are family and friends of those who are performing, and we're going to spread you out. You know, all right for the family to sit together because you're together, but the other family spread you out. And then we're going to transmit it via Zoom and Facebook Live. So the rest of the city and county can watch it.
I love the enthusiasm. I love Keith, longtime members of the community, and you and Minister Mark giving back to the community, the whole family, really, right?
Yeah, my father, that's who inspired us.
Yeah.
Even our younger brothers do the same thing with Sean Airing, with Black Expo. And
yeah. So what a legacy, what a legacy. And obviously, I do remember finally working with your dad back in the day, and who actually gave my dad a voice in this community. So there's a whole cycle of things.
And he always talked highly of you. He always said, I love that young man, George. He's gonna be somebody. That's what he would always say.
Well, he sounds like my grandfather now. That's my grandfather. That boy gonna be somebody one day. Well, listen. So get your CD. If you haven't signed up yet, go to forcecny.org. Saturday, what's the date?
May 14th.
May 14th, 12 to 4. This Saturday, May 14th, 12 to 4. And bring your best talent. Go on forcecny.org to sign up. You can call. What's the number they should call, Keith?
They should call 315-469-5987.
315-469-5987.
That's correct.
It's your chance to be seen. Inspiration for the nation.
Thank you.